Hi everyone, this is Rosa Kelly and welcome to part 1 of my mixed media mini album as a design team project for JS Hobbies and Crafts. So today we are going to be working with the Stamperia Blues collection, and let me go over the materials that we are going to be using. Now, like I said, this is going to be a mixed media, so I want to combine a lot of different elements, and my DT package just basically came with everything. Everything here you can find at JS Hobbies and Crafts. So I'm going to be using some of these beautiful 49 and Market flowers, and this is the package that is called Ocean Breeze, and it matches perfectly with this collection. I'm also going to be playing with some stencils. This is the Team Holtz beautiful flowers over here. This one is called, I don't know what it's called, but it's beautiful. And also I'm gonna be using this embroidery hoop, and I've never played with this before and I'm so excited. This is definitely going to be so fun to work with. I'm also going to be using some dye. So this is the Ultimate Impressions dye. And as you can see, it's a beautiful border lace, and I just absolutely love this one. Also, for the reinforcement of your spine, we're going to be using some Tyvek. You can also find this at JS Hobbies and Crafts. 110-pound cardstock. And I'm also going to be using some double-sided tape, score tape. I'm also going to be using these magnets. You can also find these at JS Hobbies and Crafts, and the magnets come in a package of 10, and these are really good strong magnets. And I'm going to be using this beautiful elastic lace, and of course the beautiful Stamperia Blues collection. And I'll give you a quick sneak peek. I know you probably saw my whole video, but I just absolutely love it. So you can see how these pages are already look like mixed media pages. So all I'm gonna do is complement the paper using the beautiful stenciled, the beautiful paint here. I'm also gonna be using this Deco Art acrylic paint on white. I'm gonna be using that for my embroidery hoop, and also to add some like paint splatters on our project. So we're also going to be needing some chipboard, and this is the medium weight black chipboard that you can also find at JS Hobbies and Crafts. My album is going to measure 7 by 8.5, so I'm going to start by cutting this at 7 inches. And because this is a heavy type of chipboard, I always turn it around and just cut one more time so you get a really clean edge over here. And then I'm gonna turn this around and cut this at 8.5. So again, I'm cutting the second one at 7 by 8.5, just like so. And I'm gonna go on both sides, just like that. And then I'm gonna grab one of these pieces, and again I'm gonna cut this at 8.5 by 3.5. okay, and that is going to be my spine. So 8.5 by 3.5. Now what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna grab my tie bag, and I'm gonna cut this in 2 pieces. And then I'm going to go ahead and use one of the pieces, and I'm going to glue down my spine. And I'm just going to use some fabric tack glue. You can also use your double-sided tape as well. So I'm going to go ahead and place this right here on the center, just like that. And then I'm gonna grab the back cover and just place it right next to it, and you are gonna make sure that you have this little gap in between both of them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put the glue here on this side, just like that. and just place this one. I always like to just smear a little bit the glue. So I'll just push it with the chipboard itself. And then I will do the same thing on this side as well. Just like so. And place the other piece. Just like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this around. Just like this. And one more here on the top. Now we have the base bind it together. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cover this whole thing on our design paper. Okay, so I have selected 2 of the sheets that I want in my cover, and I'm just gonna trim this on the top just a little bit. I'm gonna cut this at 10.5 inches. So I'm just gonna do this, and then I'm gonna cut it on the side as well at 10. Okay, so 10.5 by, actually I'm gonna do 10.5 just so I have a little bit more room. So I'm making this into 10.5 by 10.5, and this is going to be a little bit tricky when you are using your design paper to cover your album straight up without, you know, like covering on cardstock first. You want to make sure that you have the right papers where you want it. For example, I want this to be on my front cover and this one to be on my back cover. So I know this one is going to go here and this one is going to go here. Okay, so we're gonna put it on that order, and I'm gonna go ahead and join them together using the 1/4 inch double-sided tape, just like this. And then we cut this out like so. Okay, and then I'm just going to peel off the tape over here and put this into place, just like that. So when we turn it around, we actually want our front cover on your right side and your back cover on your left side. So now that we have that figured out, we're gonna go ahead and bring our little chipboard base that we just created, and we're gonna go ahead and glue this down. Now we can use glue or double-sided tape. I'm just going to use my glue to make the process go a little bit faster, just like that. So I'm just gonna go all the way around and everywhere. Okay, so now I'm just gonna place this down. Make sure that the join part of your 2 sheets, it's right in the middle, and we're gonna make sure this is center, up and down, just like that. And then we're just gonna let this dry for a little bit. Okay, so and then next we're just gonna fold all the sides in, and you're gonna press that with your foam folder, just like that. I'm gonna do 1, oops, and then this one as well, number 2. And make sure you're gonna press this before you add any tape or glue. That way you know exactly where it's going to sit, where it's going to fold. And then we'll do the same with these 2 sides and this one over here as well. There we go. And then before we glue anything down, we're gonna go ahead and just trim your corners, and as always, we're gonna not go right against the chipboard. We're gonna leave a little tiny space, about an 1/8 of an inch or so. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do all 4 corners, just like so, and like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and grab my other double-sided tape, which is a little bit wider. So this is a 3/8 of an inch. And if you have a 1/2 inch, of course, you can also use that one. So I'm just gonna go a long ways here. And I'm gonna do the 2 long sides first, and then I'll do the short sides. So I take that out and press, just like so. Then I do the same on the other side. Okay, and now we're ready to do this side. So I'm gonna add the tape. And before we fold this, we want to make sure that we're tacking the corners in. I'm actually gonna use 2 because it's a little bit wider. So we're gonna fold this, but we're gonna make sure we tack, or push the little corners in. And I usually just use my nails, it's okay. So I'm gonna take the tape out and go in like this. Okay, and then what are you doing, my silly dog? And then we're gonna do the same thing on these other sides. So remember to tack your corners in, 1 and 2, just like so. And then I'm gonna add the tape, and then I'm just gonna peel it off and fold this in, just like so. Here we go. And then before you fold this, make sure that you mark where this is going to bend, just like that. So we bend one side and the other side as well. And here we go. So now we have our base using the design paper, and we kind of like save a step. All right, so I'm gonna put this on the side, and we're gonna work on the hinges. So now for my hinges, I'm gonna be using a regular cardstock, 65 pounds, and I'm gonna trim this at 8 inches. So I'm just gonna take this little piece out, and then I'm going to score at first 1 inch, just like that. And then I'm gonna score a 3/4 inch. So it's gonna be 1 3/4, 2 1/2, 3 1/4, 4, 4 3/4, 5 1/2, 6 1/4, 7, 7 3/4, 8 1/2, and 9 1/4, and 10. Okay, so we're gonna start at 1 and we're gonna end at 10, and we're gonna go 3/4 inch all the way down. So we're gonna start by joining the first 2 3/4, and then we skip the next one, and then we join the next 2. We skip the next one and we join again the next 2. We skip the next one and we join the next 2. Okay, so you're gonna see that we have 4 hinges, and on this side we have a little bit more left over than on that side, but that's totally okay. So now I'm gonna go ahead and use my double-sided tape, and we're gonna put these hinges together. So you are gonna see that on your hinges you actually have these little heels. So we're gonna put the tape on one of those sides, And then we're gonna take that off and join them together. And then we're gonna press really hard on that. And that's our first one here. Okay, now the next one we're gonna skip. And on the next little heel, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna add the tape, just like that. Then we're gonna take this tape off, join them together, press hard, okay, tape again, just like so. Take off the tape, oops, join together and press again. And we just do this one more time for the last hinge. And here we go. So very, very simple. Once you get it down, it's super, super easy. So then we press this. And now we're gonna turn this around and you see that we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 little hinges. Now if we have all this left over, we can go ahead and trim it as well. You can leave it because that's just gonna hide behind design paper, but you can trim it and make it even as well. Okay, so now what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna just go ahead and put double-sided tape on my hinges as well. So I'm gonna put tape on both sides of the hinge, and you want to make sure that you put the tape closest to the outside edge, just like I did here. Okay, so we do that on both sides. We have a piece like this with the double-sided tape on both sides of the hinge, and I also put tape on the back, and we're gonna place this on top of our spine, and we're gonna make sure that our hinges are centered in between these two lines, and we're also gonna make sure that we are centered up and down. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel off the tape. Now if you don't feel comfortable doing this step with tape, you can always use your glue, and wet glue is going to allow you a little bit more flexibility to move around your hinges. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab this piece, and again I'm gonna center it to the hinges. Don't center it to this piece because this is not even, and I am gonna go right here, and then I'm also gonna center up and down, and I'm just gonna place it down just like this. Okay, and then one thing I always do is I go back with my scoreboard, my score tool, and I grab my ruler right here and then I'm gonna go ahead and just find where your bending lines are, and you will find them in the top and the bottom, and then you're just gonna use your ruler and mark where this is going to bend, just like this. And this is that awesome JS Hobbies and Crafts ruler, which has all these measurements, designs by Shelly. So definitely recommend this ruler because it will make your life a lot easier. I've been using it ever since I got it, and I love it. So again, you're gonna find your bending on this side and this side, and then you're gonna go ahead and make that bending mark before we fold it. So I always like to also hold it here with my ruler so this part doesn't bubble up or anything like that. And I'm just gonna do this. And now we have the base with the hinge. So now we're gonna add the closure, and then we're also gonna cover the inside of the chipboard. So I'm gonna be using the beautiful elastic lace here. So I'm gonna cut a piece probably just about this long, And I'm gonna need 2 of those. And then I'm also gonna cut the design paper so I can cover the inside. So our covers measure 8.5 by 7. So I'm gonna make sure to cut these at 6 3/4 by 8 1/4. Just like that. Let me put these on the side. So then I'm gonna grab my book, and these 2 pieces are going to fit perfect on the inside. And before we glue this in, we're gonna go ahead and add our closure. Now, every time I use lace, I do like to use my Fabri-Tac glue. So I'm just putting a gentle amount of glue, and I'm just gonna go ahead and use this glue for this right now. Okay, and make sure you get the edge really good. And I'm just gonna place this right on top of here. And this also provides a really good support for our hinges. Okay, so we got 1. And we're gonna do the same on the other side as well. So first thing I'm gonna do is put my lace, just like so. And then I'm gonna put this piece. And I really love how this paper looks so mixed media already, but we're definitely gonna add more mixed media elements to this. Okay, so I'm just gonna place this right over here, just like that. Okay, so now we're gonna be working on the page construction. So for that, I'm gonna be using heavyweight cardstock, and I'm gonna cut these pages at 6 1/4 by 9 1/4. Okay, so we're gonna be needing 4 of these. And then we're gonna need 4 of 6 1/4 by 8 1/4. Okay, so one size is gonna be 6 1/4 by 8 1/4, and the other one is gonna be 6 1/4 by 9 1/4. And we're gonna grab the larger one, and we are gonna score along the 9 1/4 inch side at 1/2 inch. Just like that, and at 8 3/4. Okay, or you can do 1/2 inch and then turn it around and do 1/2 inch again, and that will work just the same. So now I'm just gonna fold along these score lines, and I'm going to be adding my double-sided tape, just like this, on both sides. Okay, so one here and one over here as well. And I'm gonna cut these out, and then what I'm gonna do is just place the smaller one right on top. So the first thing I do is I take out just a little bit of the tape here on the side. I place it right on top, and I make sure that they are even and aligned and they match. And then I go and I press on the sticky side and just remove the rest of the tape. Turn this around and take off this tape as well. Make sure you hold it so you don't get a bubble. And we take that out. And this is gonna be our base page, and we are gonna need 4, so we need to do 3 more. I have my 4 base pages ready, and then we are ready to start adding some layouts and doing some mixed media techniques on each one of these. So I'm gonna be doing that on the next part of these tutorials, and after we finish decorating each one, then we're gonna go ahead and add them into our album. So please join me on part 2. I hope that you guys enjoy these tutorials so so far. Don't forget to visit JS Hobbies and Crafts to get all the supplies you need to make this tutorial. And I want to thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.